Howdy folks, this is JR, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit more about my Oklahoma Joe's Longhorn horizontal barrel smoker. I've had a few questions from the other videos about the smoker box and the fire chamber as far as sealing that up, and also how I configured this basket. So I'm going to go over that a little bit more with you. And thank you for all the comments and questions, guys. It's been really appreciated. But so I'm going to show a little bit better detail on this gasket material that I used. On this model, it has a lip that goes around every side. I think that's pretty universal to all the Oklahoma Joes, but maybe that's not. So maybe part of the confusion. But so what I did was over here. You can kind of see, pardon the light, and it's pretty windy out here today, folks. But you see I've got this about the width of my fingernail. And what I did was I compressed it enough so that it would expand out that direction. Over here, it's a little tighter. And so I stretched it over here. And so the reason I did that is just because of where I was noticing the leaks were happening. So you can still see I've got a little bit right there. But that's more just that it's getting hot than actually going by. But so anyway, just kind of before you glue this stuff down, just kind of play around with it a little bit. It does. Be careful about playing around with it because it does want to fray on you a little bit. But I've been very satisfied with this product. There's other folks that just use high temperature silicone, like RTV type stuff for automotive engines and things like that, and put it on there, and then before they close the lid, they put saran wrap around all that so that the lid forms the right dimension, and then whenever the silicone's set up, you just remove the saran wrap from there, and it only sticks to the bottom side or the top side, either way. Whichever side you want to go on. Anyway, that's just a little bit of discussion about the gasket material. Now, the other questions I've been getting are on the smoker basket that I showed in one of these videos. And so, all these are a little different, I'm sure. This one in particular, the door, if I measure just that opening across there from the top down to the bottom here, I get about... Oh boy, this light's is horrible. About 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half, something like that. And over here, it's a little bit less, about the same though. And then also measured across the sides. These things are done in the factory, but by any means they're not completely perfect. I mean, they are still made by hand after a lot of this cutting is done. So there is some variability in all this. So those are the dimensions on mine. So I was trying to go for about a 12 by 12 by 11 basket. Of course, I'm over here just with a hammer and some wood blocks and things like that. So what I did was this is fairly lightweight expanded metal. And so what I did to make this basket, I cut it down and used a one longer piece that I bent around to make a corner there and a corner down here. Hopefully that comes out. And then for the sides, so now I've got a U shape, right? And then I just cut this thing to fit to make the two sides. So there's 3 pieces of expanded wire. That's the way I did it. If you wanted to, I imagine you could do it 5 different pieces and just cut 5 pieces of the size you want and then try to put them together. I thought this might be a little easier to work with. Then I've got a neighbor. He's a pretty good welder, and he helped me out. So we've got some little square tubing. That's probably about a 1/4 inch stock. Maybe that's 1/2 inch stock. And so we put that around all the edges where we welded to, just to help weld that stuff. If you don't have access to a welder, I beforehand, my intention was just get some heavy gauge wire, and just sew this thing together. Just wrap it around and do a twisty tie and I'm sure that would have worked all right as well. But so anyway, the dimensions that I came out with on this basket are, about, pardon the light, guys. I thought this was going to come out a little better, but that's a little over 12. And it's definitely not perfectly square, because you come over here and it's a little bit less, and over here, it's about 12 and a half. But it was, and it's about, just a little under 11 inches tall. But what it does do, for this, the way it did come out, there's one direction that has to go in, and it does require a little bit of coaxing. Oh, but before I put that in, so this grate came with the Oklahoma Joes. Originally, I was going to put it in that direction because I wanted to have a lot of space below. But what I noticed is that it just pushes the fire up too high, and I felt like I was not getting a very good draft through the smoking chamber. So I've since gone to this direction, and I really don't need it at all, but it does help provide some support, because this thing, it is fairly lightweight, and as it gets hot, it does soften a little bit. So anyway, I got to hold my tongue just right to get this thing in there, and of course I'm holding the phone, so there we go. All right, so now we get that thing in there. All right, now beforehand I would have filled that up kind of like we talked about in the other videos. I don't mess around with this thing while anything's hot. It's a little too cantankerous of an operation. Now, if I was to, and I'm going to do this here probably another month or so, I'm going to build a fire out of just cured pecan. So I wouldn't use that basket at all. That basket really is just to help keep the charcoal a little better under control as far as fire. But anyway, hope that helps, folks. Thanks for all the questions and positive comments, and I hope y'all are enjoying your Oklahoma Joe as much as I am mine. And get out there and make some smoke rings, guys. Cheers.